Hello everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Astrology. This is the beginning of my moon series, so I'm starting off with Aries. I thought I'd go in the traditional order. I don't know, I think my Capricorn offsets my Aquarius, and I like to follow tradition. So Aries is generally the first sign, so that makes sense, you know. Well, everyone knows Aries energy is impulsive, energetic. They want to be first. They're selfish, but in an innocent way. But with the moon, I think the moon kind of gives a bit too much dense energy. So I mentioned in my other intro videos that the moon is kind of like our base. Well, I'll kind of get more into that here. The moon is actually kind of like our subconscious. So there's our unconscious, which is rules over Neptune, Pisces, and the 12th house. Now the subconscious, which is our mother energy, rules over, is ruled over by the moon, Cancer, and the 4th house, and that is very different. So the unconscious is kind of what follows behind us in the back of our head and what rules our whole world. It's kind of like our base, what our lives are based on. But our subconscious is the energy that we're building from. It's the energy we came from. I know that I could probably explain this better in different videos, but with your moon sign, it's what you fall back to. And your ego generally is kind of always offsetting your moon. Regardless of where your moon and sun are in your chart, your ego is your sun, and mostly. So when your ego is off, your moon can shine, and it kind of shows up when you are emotional, because it's your emotional needs being backed up. So when you're relaxed, or when I think if the moon is in the right place in the sky, and if it's in bad angles, your moon sign will show up, most likely in a negative way. Generally, it's a nurturing thing, so it shows how you nurture people, but it can be also how you suffocate them. So the moon rules over basically the extremes of love, but in a material way. So generally, I think moon can be suffocating regardless. So how does an Aries moon show their negative habitual qualities, which is the moon, your habits? So basically, Mars and Aries people, I know quite a lot. I know quite a few actual Cancer suns, which you'd think they'll be nurturing, but with Aries moons. Now, generally, when this shows up, I'm not saying this is gonna suit everyone or fit everyone, but I know a lot of people with moon in Aries that have, if you're a woman, have lesbian tendencies. And there's a lot of theory behind this. But anyway, Ellen DeGeneres has moon in Aries, and she's an Aquarius, which also might contribute whatever to her sexuality. But moon in Aries basically means that you want to take your feminine role that you want to express, and your emotions need to be in a masculine or Aryan way, which is ruled over by Mars. So that means your moon, which is your nurturing and where you come from in a safe environment, and what you act like when you're comfortable, is Aries-like. So it can be quite impulsive. So I don't know if you know that about Ellen. Like, she's a loving humanitarian, all about equality. But I think her Aries, Martian energy, and her moon really kind of shows that willingness to push forward, and it's very headstrong. So their anger can be quite out of nowhere. It can be quite impulsive, but it doesn't last long. So it's a lot like it's a lot like the Mars signs, or Aries energy, the sun in Aries. They don't hold grudges or resentment. So there's a lot of things that make them that way. Basically, they follow their gut, and that's probably the best thing they could do. But the moon is something we're supposed to move away from. So in childhood or in a past life, people with moon in Aries are supposed to have been quite